The man, because his company went bankrupt, could only secretly eat other people's leftover noodles. Just as the man was burying his head eating noodles, suddenly, a hand stopped him. At that moment, the man awkwardly explained that he was just hungry, wanting to beg the woman to let him keep eating. But the woman just looked at the man, took the bowl of noodles in front of him, and turned around to go into the kitchen. Just as the man got up, ready to leave, the woman suddenly called out to him. The man turned around and saw the woman standing before him, holding a fresh bowl of noodles. She explained to the man that the noodles earlier were other customers' leftovers, and how could she let him eat those? As she spoke, she handed the fresh noodles to the man. Hearing this, the man froze for a moment, but since he had been starving for days, he didn't plan to be polite, and directly devoured 3 big bowls of noodles in one go. After finishing, the man promised the woman that when he made a comeback, he would surely repay her kindness. But the woman didn't want any repayment at all, saying that if the man ever became rich, he should just pass on her kindness to others. And the man kept her words in his heart. 10 years later, the man had become the CEO of a publicly listed company. To repay the woman's kindness, the CEO planned to invest $3 billion to buy the street where the woman's shop was. But what the CEO didn't know was, his good intentions actually brought disaster to the woman. The woman's noodle shop was targeted by thugs. They heard about the CEO's upcoming acquisition, so they preemptively bought out the other shops cheaply. Now only the woman's shop refused to sell, so they planned to cause trouble for the woman. They poured something from their hands into a bowl, accusing the woman of making dirty noodles. Hearing the commotion, the woman rushed over, shocked to see cockroaches in the bowl, unable to believe it was her fault. The thugs, hearing her denial, decisively knocked over the noodles in her hands. The noise attracted the attention of other customers, and these regulars all knew the woman was kind-hearted, so they demanded the thugs apologize. But then, the lead thug pulled a knife hidden on him, threatening everyone to leave immediately. After everyone had left, the thugs became even more brazen, demanding $300,000 in compensation from the woman. Hearing such an enormous amount, the woman fearfully told them she didn't have that much money. Hearing this, the thugs grew even more arrogant, telling her to hand over the shop instead. The woman quickly refused, explaining that her whole family survived on this shop, begging them to let her go. But what she didn't know was, they were here precisely for her shop, so how could they possibly let her off? Then, they directly ordered their men to smash the woman's shop. Just as they were about to start smashing the shop, the CEO arrived on the street with his assistant, planning to find the woman from years ago to repay her kindness. Meanwhile, the woman watched as they trashed her shop, wanting to step forward to stop them, but she was shoved to the ground. Looking at the woman on the ground, they weren't satisfied with just smashing things. They even brought a ladder to tear down her noodle shop's signboard. At this moment, the woman watched this scene, and anger rose within her, but she couldn't stop anything and could only watch them smash her sign. The thugs watched her humble begging and felt immense pride. Just as the woman was falling into despair, the thug said that if she knelt and admitted fault, maybe if it made him happy, he'd let her go. The woman had no choice but to kneel, hoping they would let her go. Just then, the thug's boss stopped them. Seeing the woman being bullied by his men, he slapped one of the thugs, then gently helped the woman up from the ground. The thugs beside him, seeing their boss, immediately put on flattering smiles. The boss told his men he only told them to teach her a lesson. How could they beat her like this? Hearing this, the woman finally realized that all these thugs were sent by this boss. At this point, the boss stopped pretending, revealing he not only wanted the woman's shop, but also wanted her to be his wife. He told the woman this was the price of rejecting him earlier. Hearing this, the woman slapped the boss hard, firmly telling him she would never agree. The boss looked at the woman in disbelief, but in his mind, even worse thoughts formed. Meanwhile, the CEO saw a crowd gathered ahead, thinking something had happened to the woman, and rushed forward to help, only to realize he was on the wrong street, so he took his assistant and headed to another street. Meanwhile, the woman was saved by her family, telling them the thugs wanted to buy the noodle shop, and when she refused, they tried to seize it. The woman thought her family would stand up for her, but to her shock, for the sake of her younger brother's dowry, they agreed to the boss's demands without hesitation, not only to sell the shop to the boss, but also to make her marry him. The woman looked at her brother in shock, thinking they were supposed to be family. How could they sell her out so easily? The brother's girlfriend started mocking the sister and pressured the brother to force his sister to marry. The woman glared at her brother in rage and slapped him hard. At this moment, their parents stepped in to stop her, but the brother accused her of being unmarriageable, saying she might as well marry the boss to bring in money. Even the woman's parents agreed to the boss's terms, telling her to marry him, or they would cut ties with her as their daughter. Only now did the woman see her parents' true colors. She broke free from her brother's grip to escape, but was caught and shoved toward the boss. Her family just stood there watching as the woman struggled in despair. Just then, the CEO finally arrived, stepped forward, and threw the boss aside, preventing something even worse from happening.